Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making? Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we had over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good day. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, man. And we have a really exciting show planned for you all. And for everyone that's checking us out live on YouTube or Facebook, get involved in today's show. You can leave myself or the Texas Real Estate King a relevant question in the comments section. And you never know, our super producer, Jay Joseph, may very well choose to have us answer your question on today's show. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. I want to thank him so much for sitting in with us this week, just like he does every week here on the Prime Real Estate Network. And I'd like to introduce to our audience, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. How are you?
What up, Rick? I am doing amazing, my friend. I have no complaints at all. We in here on another beautiful Thursday, just rocking and rolling with it, man.
Hey, man, great to have you here, man. Really excited about today's show. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about all the purple we got on right now, especially the purple shirt that you're wearing this week, man. So for those in the audience who may not be so familiar, could you please sit up straight, sir, so they can really see the shirt, man? So we can represent maybe SFA all day. Lumberjacks, man. House the Nacogdoches, Texas. Big huge shout out to all them Lumberjacks and Lady Jacks worldwide, man. Okay, look.
No doubt. Listen, you totally right, though. It's Lumberjack Nation, man. Matter of fact, we going back to the Southland Conference, man. So I don't know if you had heard the word, but we heading back to the Southland Conference. They need us to grace the
welcome
presence.
news, man. That was very welcome news, man. That's something that I felt like was something that we needed to make happen.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, especially in college sports, it's about those rivalries. It's about tradition. It's about those memories for all the alumni. So now that we back in the Southland Conference,
which is good, man. I'm liking we back in the South. You know, I got a couple of championships over in the Southland Conference, so I need them to be able to reference that as they go through, the time periods. I know they reference that.
All we got to do is figure out a way to get Sam Houston back on the schedule, man, and everything will be back to normal, brother. So work on that side when you go up there, brother, and you talk to the powers that be.
That point. Yeah,
hey,
other than that, man, things been smooth, man. I had a great weekend. I want to give a shout out to one of our Prime Real Estate Network alumni, Marcus Tolson, man. He hosted a fashion show this past weekend under his new brand that he has. It's called the Remarkable Affairs. So for those of you who haven't had an opportunity, check it out on IG. That was fun, man. I had an opportunity to do an impromptu runway walk, myself and Evans Charles, one of our other past alumni of the Prime Real Estate Network. So it was fun, man. A bunch of fun people, fun energy, and just enjoying the sunlight that we had in Houston, Texas, brother.
And look, this is news. See, I was aware that you had an opportunity to participate in the runway show, man. And big, huge shout out to Marcus Tolson, man. I'm sure he was really excited to have you all support and to be involved.
Yeah.
But I wasn't aware that Mr. Evans Charles, member of the Brooks and Davis real estate family, also
Evans Charles came down to 1-1, man. Evans Charles almost won it, man. Him and he goes to a gym. I can't think of the name of the gym that he's attending right now. But it was in one of his gym mates, man. It came down to the competition between the two of them. And of course, and the young lady actually won out. But Evans Charles put on the show, man. I think, I told that gentleman that, showing up to events like that, being able to get your name called out, let people know what it is that you do is always is always a fun thing. So he left out of there, and over 200 people knew that he was the local real estate expert. So I thought that was a smart idea.
Hey, now, big, huge shout out to Mr. Evans Charles, like you said, Prime Real Estate Network alumni, man, getting it going, getting out there, being a man of the people, man.
Yeah.
That's super duper important. Today's show, Larry, and I'm really excited about today's show because it comes on the heels of myself, yourself, and a lot of our audience celebrating Father's Day this past weekend. And when you have an opportunity to be close to family, be celebrated as a father, as a mentor, as inspiration, as a provider, it really opens you up to understanding how important it is to not only serve in that role in your family, but if you have the bandwidth to try to spread out that message throughout our entire community. But there are so many young people that don't necessarily have that fatherly influence on a regular basis, which brings us to the motivation behind today's interview. So before I introduce this week's guest, Larry, could you share a little bit about your relationship with this week's guest, how you were introduced, and how far and how long you guys known each other?
Yeah, man. So it's always fun to have what I consider family on the show. Today's guest is like a sister to me. We've actually, one of our past alumni as well, Marcus Newman, is the husband of today's guest. So shout out to him being one of our alumni of the show. But not only that, though, the relationship was actually started with my younger brother. My younger brother was close to the same graduation time that today's guest is. And actually, she went to one of the rival schools in the community that we were raised in. She went to Worthing High School. I went to the Jesse H. Jones High School. So, that's going to always have a little deep rivalry involved in it. But, man, I'm just excited when she actually took an opportunity to say yes today, man. She does so many amazing things just throughout the community. She is I like to look at her as the connector to those that are in need, as well as the connector to being able to, with philanthropy, right? Like I've just never seen anyone do it at such a large and such a strong scale when it comes to caring about community and people that are out there, man. And so just having an opportunity to have my sister on the program today is appreciated. And man, I'm just loving the information that we're going to be able to pull out of it today.
No, I appreciate you for that intro, man. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our audience to today's guest. She is the Chief Executive Officer of the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County. I want to thank her so much for sitting in with us, and I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, Mrs. Amber Newman. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm so honored to be here. Y'all had my husband on the show, so I'm gonna have to step my game up because I know he did a good job on there, so I got to make sure I step my game up and give the audience some good information. So I'm greatly humbled for you guys having me here today.
Thanks for being here, sis. You all appreciate it. You and yin and yang. I call y'all yin and yang. There's no doubt about it. So, it's just an honor and a pleasure to finally get you on the platform. And I know that I felt like I've just been over going into the end of the school year. I was just bumping into you and seeing you more often. And that's usually when a lot of volunteer work and things like that are being stepped up. So just honored to have you on the show today.
I want to thank you so much for sitting in, because one of the reasons I was so excited about today's interview when Larry told us that you had committed to sitting in with us is because the Boys and Girls Club have one of the most recognizable brands, especially in the United States, of any organization, profit or nonprofit. So everyone in our audience, I'm sure, is very, very familiar with the Boys and Girls Club, a lot of the marketing that they've seen over time. They may have seen the signs, the buildings. But I do know a lot of times what you all do, the basis of the organization is something that I think is underreported. So please, Amber, could you not only introduce yourself, but talk about the leadership position that you hold and the type of things that you guys are doing at the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, absolutely. Boys and Girls Club is under the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is our national brand. And so the thing about it is it's up to each club and the leaders of each club, because we represented beyond the U.S. We actually have clubs, domestic and international. And so it's important the work that we do on the ground, boots on the ground, and the people that we serve, the kids that we serve, the communities that we serve, because that impacts the brand of the Boys and Girls Club, right? So if our club is not doing what we are supposed to be doing, and we have a bad reputation in it spreads. And so that's the importance of what we do. And so for me, I've been here at the Boys and Girls Club, and September will make 8 years that I've served as the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club. I been in nonprofit over 20 years. I've, worked at various nonprofits with the food bank, with neighborhood centers. I even worked with the NFL on the nonprofit side of the NFL. And so I have been, around various nonprofits, big and small. And it's always a good thing. I'm very mission driven, and the way I kind of got started is my mom worked in nonprofit. My mom actually worked for Warren Moon's nonprofit, the Crescent Moon Foundation. And so that's what exposed me to nonprofit. A lot of people really didn't back in the day, and this was in the early 90s, a lot of people didn't know exactly how people can earn money and be helpful in the community by working for a nonprofit. And so I'm very mission driven. A lot of times, we develop these partnerships and collaborations with other nonprofits to be able to do the things that we do. Like we have some good things coming up, like our back to school drive, and we're partnering with Civic Heart, which is the organization that my husband is a part of, which is a nonprofit as well. And so they're giving away 1,500 backpacks and school supplies to kids in the Brazoria County area. And so with that, for me, working in a nonprofit, it helps me to touch those who need us the most, which is the mission of our Boys and Girls Club. I grew up in a single parent household. My mom and we moved here when I was going into middle school from Louisiana. And so my mom was a single parent. And so although I was not a member of the Boys and Girls Club, I was a latchkey kid. But just the way the times are now, it's hard. I wouldn't, let my kids stay home by themselves if they were little because of the internet. And, one of the people we work with is with human trafficking is Unbound. And they teach about internet safety to our youth, because guess what? Our youth spend a lot of time on the internet, playing games on the computer and all that kind of stuff. So we have to protect them and know that when they're chatting with people, they have to be knowledgeable to know, like, this may not be a kid who you're thinking that you're chatting with. It could be an adult. And so, we love for volunteers to come. And one of the reasons why we do Mentor Mondays during the school year, and we look for volunteers that want to come in just one hour a week to come and mentor our youth. And like you guys were talking about Father's Day, there's a lot of households that don't have fathers, and we love for males to come in to be, a father figure to our youth, and build those kind of positive relationships. Like you all have, your own business, you're entrepreneurs, and you all are great pillars in our community. And that's what our young men and women, some people say, oh yeah, we're looking for males to mentor males. Well, we like them to even mentor our young women, because guess what? Those young women may not have a father figure in their household, and they need to know to have a relationship with males that is not in a sexual way, but more of a mentoring and positive way, so they can build their value as well.
Yeah. Wow.
That's so deep. I appreciate you for sharing, because, one of the things that those members of our audience that watch us on a regular basis, one of the things we talk about is the value and the importance of philanthropy.
Oh,
Larry has founded and heads up a nonprofit, and we try to spotlight his organization as much as we can. And having someone like you sit in with us puts a face to such a huge organization. You mentioned a little bit about your Mentor Mondays. Could you just share with our audience some of the more unique programs that you offer that people in our audience may not be aware that children can take advantage of at the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, absolutely. So even this summer, we have a partnership with Phillips 66. They are offering free swimming classes for any of those kids that need or want to learn how to swim or need to know how to swim, because they're big about safety and being around water and safety in water. Even in our African American community, we have, a fear of water, some people, and some people don't know how to swim. And so this is a good opportunity. And on our website, we have the link for people to fill out the application so that if they want to be a part of it, and send their kids for absolutely free to learn how to swim. On the philanthropic side, for people that want to learn how to be contributors of our Boys and Girls Club, October the 4th, we have a celebrity golf tournament. And if you like to play golf, I'm going to tell you, it's a great networking opportunity. Because we are down in Brazoria County. We have a lot of industry. We have Dow, we have Freeport LNG, BASF, and Olin, just to name a few. And those people that make those decisions at those organizations, they come and play in our tournament, because down here, what makes us different as a nonprofit in this area is that we have a celebrity component. I'm thankful because I worked in the NFL, but my husband played in the NFL, and so he has a lot of connections. And so a lot of the former NFL guys come, and we have some retired NBA guys that come. Last time we had it, we had Moochie Norris. Moochie was with us. Nate Griffith is a great supporter of him from 526, so he did a live morning broadcast for our tournament. And so at the end, what we do is, because if you know golf, you are playing on a foursome, so you may not get the opportunity to interact with the people when you're playing, but we do a networking from 2 to 4 after our tournament. Everybody kind of is hanging around, and so we do from 2 to 4, we have a networking opportunity. So even if you didn't play with those people on your foursome, now you get the opportunity to meet with them, talk to them face to face, and they're the decision makers. So if you have a small business and you're trying to get a contract with one of these industries, because maybe you pour concrete, right? Or maybe you offer uniform cleaning, or whatever it is that those companies look for, you have the opportunity to get FaceTime with these individuals, and get that opportunity to try to get a deal too for your small business. And so I love that about it, right? Because my husband and I, we have a small business, and sometimes it's hard to get in front of the people that you need to get in front of, to get your business out there. And this is a great opportunity. Yeah, you may purchase an individual for $200 to come and play, but guess what? That $200 is an investment into the youth and your business, if you have a business. And that way you can, give back and try to help to catapult your business.
And and one of the things that I found from participating in those type of events too, Amber, is it doesn't feel as aggressive, right? Like everyone's there, you're giving, and everyone likes a kind giver. I don't care who it is. Everyone wants to know that someone's giving either their time, their financing, but the networking is so much more softer. It's so much more open-hearted, right? If someone's coming there and they're talking about an opportunity, and it makes it easier for me to say, hey, let's have a coffee appointment, or let's do lunch another day, that I'm going to really follow with them more intentional. And that's how every leader looks at it. Every time I've ever had brought somebody into my organization, soft touching me at a volunteer event has always been more kinder in my heart versus you popping up at the office and trying to hard sell me. Right. Yeah. So I think that's one of the things that when I've always participated in these events, that's always a solid thing. And one of the things that stands out that you all do, like you said, y'all host a kind of like a happy hour or a networking event. That's really the secret sauce to it. Now I get a chance to soft touch everyone in the room, at least just introduce myself so that my name becomes familiar, or maybe me being able to volunteer and ask them when they have something going on that I could participate in to give service or be of service to them. So that's one of the things that really stands out about these type of events and participating in them. So all of our listeners that's out there, grab your golf clubs, shake them off, dust them off, or grab your favorite one and come on out there and make sure you do some work. So as you get the flyer for that together, Amber, let us know. We want to most definitely promote that along with you and spread the word for that as well. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, we actually have it on our website. And so, we're still looking for sponsors. The good thing about the tournament is like free food, free drinks, out there. You just come in and hanging out and enjoying yourself, and then get the opportunity to have that networking event, to get in front of those individuals. And so people, we sell out every year because of how we do our tournament. And People was telling us, like, we had some people tell us, like, oh man, we love coming to y'all tournament because it's, for this reason, we can have a good time, and then make sure, we connect with people. So the money is well spent both ways.
Wow.
Amber, one of the great things about being able to interview you and you making some time to sit in with us is because we were able to spotlight some parts of your organization that may not necessarily be highlighted as often. One of the things that I was most impressed with as I did my research before the interview was that not only are you really super involved on the back end side, you roll up your sleeve, you're really big as far as organization, pushing the brand and pushing the promotion, but you're also one of the faces of the organization. And you had the opportunity to produce one of the more inspiring TED Talks that I've had the opportunity to sit down and check out. And I want those members of our audience who may notice the name, be like, where do I know the name from? Because there's so many people that had the opportunity to take in that TED Talk, either on YouTube or live and in person. So could you talk a little bit about what went into your inspiration and what type of reception and what type of interaction have you received with the members of the audience since you were able to do that TED Talk?
Yeah, it's been a blessing, and I will tell you that Dr. Stalwart, she really pushed it. She is also a Sunnyside. She's from the area, but she also is a Worthing alumni, okay. And she was really intrigued because a lot of people at the time didn't know I'm the first African American CEO of my Boys and Girls Club. Oh, wow. And so she was just like, oh my God, I'm sorry, and not so Dr. Preta Vanderbilt, sorry. She was really just like, this is amazing, Amber. You came out of Worthing. I really want to do this. And so she puts together the TED Talk, it's the Sunnyside edition. Yeah. And so I was honored that she even asked me to be a part of that. And so just people, have hit me up and asked me to mentor, which I love to do, because you know what, I want the next generation. We have to create the next generation of leaders, right? Because we're laying the foundation, but we want it to continue to grow and get better. And so in that TED Talk, I was very vulnerable. I shared a lot of information about my personal history and how I came up, and because I wanted people to be encouraged and know that, hey, you don't have to let your circumstance define you, use that as leverage to be and do what you want to do, right? And so I often remember growing up, with my great-grandmother, she made everybody feel like they were her favorite. Yeah. And I don't know how she, did it, but I tried to make myself do the same thing, right? And be genuine with people to let people know this is who I am, and no, I'm not perfect. But if people call me to ask me for assistance, if I can, I am going to do it, And so during the TED Talk, it was just a powerful moment. There were two other women on the stage with me. We were there together, and so they gave their TED Talk. One of them was Dr. Patrice Allen. She's the granddaughter of Alma Allen, and just her story and her testimony too. And I've done a lot of work with her because she was over 50 Cent's G Unity Lab, and she asked me to be a mentor for that. And so just the connection with people and being able to kind of leverage those relationships to even help more people and more kids is what is the most rewarding. But the TED Talk was something I just kind of let my guard down and just was open and honest, so people can know. I wanted them to know the truth of, no, every day is not a sunny day, and there are, clouds and you will go through ups and downs, but just to stay determined and focus on the goal, and I'm just grateful for that opportunity Dr. Preta gave me. And so she's a Worthing alumni. So, hey, she's doing big things because she's also on the Houston Community College Board. And so it just shows you that no matter where you grow up, here you can be anything you want to be as long as you put your best foot forward.
That's right. I thank you so much. And, it's kind of cool. This interview has been so gripping, because this is the part of the show where Larry and I normally ask our guests, when you think about your upbringing, who may have served as an inspiration. But one of the cool things is you mentioned that your mom served the Crescent Moon Foundation. And of course, us being natives of Houston, we all know Warren Moon, we all know the Crescent Moon Foundation. So instead of asking you who inspired you, how proud have you made your family following in your mom's footsteps from that standpoint? Larry and I talk about that a lot as fathers, about being able to inspire your children to see what you do as something that's respected, something that they would be proud to travel as far as the past. So how proud of your family to see you following your mom's footsteps?
Yeah, so for me, I think, my family helps to keep me grounded because they don't care what my title is. Let me tell you.
No doubt about it.
Hey, I might be the CEO in the Boys and Girls Club, but with my family, I'm just Amber. And so they don't care what my title is, and they help that, which is a blessing because it helps to keep you grounded, right? Yeah. And so for me, I know I was the first person in my immediate family to actually graduate from college. And so with my parents, both my mom and dad, at a young age, it was always kind of expected that I would go to school, right? And so I was the first person in my immediate family to graduate from college. And so this bar had been set, right? So I have my younger cousins that look up to me. And since then, I've had younger cousins to now graduate from college. And so the weight sometimes is heavy because I know that, that they're depending on me to be the role model for the family. And that's on both sides, my mom and my dad's side of the family. But I'm always grateful to look back and say, our family as a whole have come a long way because of the strides that my parents made, my grandparents made, for me to even be in this role, for the sacrifice my whole family made for me to be in this role. And so I will attribute my success to my family, but not only to my mom and dad, but to my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, because they love me like I'm theirs. There's no difference between the way they treat, my sister-in-laws and my brother-in-law versus me. Like I'm their daughter, just like they are. And so they, my husband and I, we graduated from TSU with our masters as we were already married with kids. So my kids and I, my husband, we do work together, like when we were in school. And so I remember them doing homework and us writing papers at the same time. So the most rewarding thing for me is when my husband and I graduated with our masters. And my cousin Tammy, she took a picture of our kids, Amaya and Lathan, when they were young, as we were crossing the stage to get our master's degree. She took a picture of Amaya and Lathan. And I reflect back and looking at that picture because she sent it to us as we were the moment of crossing the stage, the smiles on their faces, that showed me that they were proud. And that's what makes me the most proudest. And for our kids, I know I tell them all the time, my husband tells them all the time, hey, y'all have a lot to live up to because of the bar that we've set. But you make your own path. Our path may not be the same path that you all choose. And so for us, like our daughter says, she wants to be an orthodontist. And so she looks up to Heather Brown. She's one of the greatest orthodontists here in Houston. And then our son says he wants to be a football coach. Well, my husband was a football coach for Hightower and Marshall on the high school level as well. So, and I think that a part of our journey, my husband and I, even doing the work we do in the community, rubs off on them because our son, looking at being a coach, it's a mentor. Yeah. You're a mentor as a coach. That's all you are. And then for the orthodontist, she wants to make people smile beautiful. That's another thing. If you have a nice smile, you have the confidence, then hey, guess what? So I'm grateful. Now I know they probably won't do everything that we do because we have a busy life, but I'm grateful that they've been on this journey with us.
That's what's up.
Now, I appreciate you being so transparent and so giving as far as not only your time, but your experience. Yeah. So for those members of our family that would love to interact with you, be a part of your organization, follow and join the movement, could you share some information about how those people can get in contact with you, volunteer their time with the Boys and Girls Club, and become a part of the community from that standpoint?
Absolutely. So if they have specific questions for me, they can hit me up on Instagram at official _ Amber Newman. If they have a question about tapping in with the Boys and Girls Club, they can hit us up on Instagram or Facebook, and our thing is BGC Brazoria, Brazoria. And you know, I get those messages as well, and we have a marketing person at Fallon. She also receives those messages. So if they want to volunteer, or if they have a program, we like to also partner with people that have programs, because when we are writing for grants, we can include people into those grants. So like if they have a business, so for example, I'll give you guys a quick example, because you guys have a real estate company, right? So if you say, hey, we would like to teach the kids on different ways and different things they can do in real estate, right? So I say, okay, great, that sounds great. Brooks and Davis, we want to add y'all into this grant. Y'all come out and y'all provide the supplies and all that, and y'all tell me how much that costs, and then the time, and then we include y'all in the grant so that y'all are paid for that, because it's teaching our kids something different. And so those are opportunities as well that we do. We look for grants and try to, because, you know, to include things like we don't know everything in our organization, but we want our kids to have the best of everything and to have access to, you know, everything. So maybe they don't want to go to college. Guess what? Real estate, you don't have to go to college, right? You can, you know, go and take the classes, and then you can take a test. We partnered with Anastasia Carter. She actually this year gave a scholarship to one of our alumni Boys and Girls Club, and she does real estate. And so, and then they could either select to go to college or go to real estate school, and she would have, you know, paid for the real estate class. And if they don't choose the real estate class, then she just gave them that amount to put towards the scholarship. So there's a number of things, you know, that we can do with people that own businesses, or, you know, have some type of idea. If they want to talk to me about maybe an idea they have and see how we can partner, just hit me up on my personal Instagram, or even through Boys and Girls Club.
Sounds good. Wow.
No, I want to thank you so much, man. I urge everyone in the audience to follow Ms. Amber Newman on Instagram, follow the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County on Instagram, reach out, tap in, interact. I want to thank you so much. As Larry mentioned earlier, please keep us in the know as far as all your upcoming events and programs. We would love to spotlight and highlight all of those upcoming events. And you always have a seat here with us. That's right. Anytime you'd like to sit in with us, please, man. This was a great interview. And I'm sure so many members of our audience have been inspired by your mission and your journey as well. So thank you so much, Queen.
I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna have y'all to come on our show. We have our own YouTube channel too on Boys and Girls Club, and so Comcast just gave us a grant, and our kids are going to be creating their own kid cast. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap in with y'all, because I want Rick and Larry, y'all to come join my kids on their kid cast.
No doubt about it.
We gonna have y'all on our show. So it's, y'all just get ready. We're going to set it up. It's going to be going on through the school year. So we're going to tap in with y'all and get y'all to come out and interview with our kids.
Yes, indeed. I'm on board with it.
Commit to that. No doubt about it. I'm looking forward.
No doubt about it.
Seems like a great time. Thank you so much, Ms. Newman. We look forward to speaking with you soon, Queen, and please be blessed.
Great seeing you, Amber.
I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate you as well. See, Larry, that's what I'm talking about, man. What a great interview with such an inspiring lady, man. And it just goes to show how the more you give of yourself, what you get back is almost like tenfold, man. So share with us, Larry, how you felt about the interview, man. How did you feel about all the messages that Ms. Amber Newman shared with the audience?
You know, it's crazy because, you know, a lot of those things register and hit home, right? The first one in her family to go to a 4-year university and graduate. Just the idea that of her and her husband and the kids being able to study together and then accomplish other goals. But just more impressively, the TED Talk, what came up from the TED Talk, and being the first woman CEO of a Brazos County Boys and Girls Club. Like, those are big things. And you know, what can I say, man? We had a heavy hitter on here today, a great friend, a personal friend that I'm just excited about just the things that she do. Now, I knew that she had a passion for philanthropy. So just being able to see it in more detail and hear more of it clarified today is just even more of a big thing, because I know that that's always been something that she's been passionate about and very, very good at. So just being able to have her on the show today and being able to express to people. And I want our audience to make sure they go and check out that TED Talk. You know, you're going to walk away with something. You're going to walk away with a gem that, you know, maybe you're in a stuck place right now and you're trying to figure it out. But one of the things that we always talk about, Rick, is just giving and being of service to people. You can never go wrong with that, man. Being of service is always going to align with where your heart is going to feel good at, where you're going to find your blessings at.
You know, man, I agree totally, man. And I urge everyone, as you mentioned, follow Miss Amber Newman. Find that TED Talk on YouTube, man. It's really motivational and inspiring from that standpoint. I know everyone in our audience will get their feel of the positivity that we need on a regular basis.
That's right.
Look, man, been a great week, great show, great interview. Is there anything you'd like to share with our audience in closing this week, Mr. Brooks?
I don't have anything particular. Follow me at Texas Real Estate King, but make sure that you go out of your way to like and subscribe. Please feel you have no doubt the things that allows this show to be able to do, the people that this show is able to be able to touch, and the guests that we're able to bring on. So definitely, again, like and subscribe, and then just tag, send the link to somebody.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. I once again would like to thank Miss Amber Newman, and I'd like to thank the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County for letting us borrow their CEO for half an hour. Yes. So on behalf of myself, Ric Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, I urge everyone in the Prime Real Estate Network audience to check us out next week at the same time. And until then, everyone out there, please be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.